TPA, it was very complicated, and I would say 75% to 80% had to redo a piece. Not that they did it incorrectly, they just, maybe the video didn't work, or maybe something wasn't uploaded.
Or like we were talking this morning, they did the narrative, didn't do the chart.
Right.
Or did the chart, didn't do the narrative. I mean, that's why it's so important to read every direction. Yes, sir.
So if you turn in the TPA and you only have like one section that's messed up, do you redo the entirety of the TPA or do you
No.
do
No.
one section?
No, you do the one section, and what the graders do, they will send me the information, and if it's just one piece, if it's task 2, piece 1, that's all you turn in. That's all you
That's all you
redid.
revise. Yeah.
But we give you multiple chances to revise. I know a student that revised 4 times last semester. She graduated, she eventually passed. But what you need to do when that time comes and you think, okay, I know I'm going to be getting my grade. If you get a grade or you get an email from me that says you need to revise it, you need to revise it immediately.
Yes.
Before you start that second placement.
If that happens, you'll tell us what's wrong, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she said you weren't allowed to tell us.
No, oh, no, we're not allowed to assist you with it.
Good luck, this part's not right.
Yeah. And I just want to share the reason why, because whenever this came about, the state gave some different options. We could either do the PPAT, which was through Praxis, ETS. We could do the EdTPA, which was through Pearson, which each cost $300. And you had to submit, and you had to do, and it was like taking an extra test. Or we could do this, or we could do something else. So, we opted for this. That is why we don't help you. Does that make sense? Because we want to see what you know. We want to get like Dr. Lucas said, we want to not have our scoring skewed. We want to see how we compare. We want to do things right. So, but like Hannah said, let's say you need to redo task 2, section 1, or section A, you forgot a piece. We're going to send you, please revise this, and this, because this, and this. We're not just going to say, you failed, or revise the whole thing or whatever. I mean, we're never going to do that. But like she said this morning too, if you get a 1, you're going to revise that section. That's just a given.
Okay,
So.
I'm sorry.
No,
You
that's-
can get a 1 and revise it and still be okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Guys, I will just tell you this. This student who did not get credit for student teaching
Yeah, I thought-
over this TPA thing, this is why. They just ignored. They ignored the emails and they didn't redo it. And then she called last week and said, I'm showing no credit in student teaching, and I guess I need to get a hold of somebody. Well, yeah, check your email first and look at the 30 emails about this that you've gotten. You would think that somebody would realize a little bit earlier than that, okay? So, we good up to this point. Any more questions? Yes, good. Okay, all right. Sequence of placement. This is where everybody starts talking. Okay, so, and guys, I'm going to send this to you electronically, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it as well, okay? Week 1 observation. Now, when I say observation, I don't mean sit in a chair and just take notes, and if your teacher asks you to do something, say, no, I'm just supposed to be observing. Please don't do that. Please don't do that, okay? Week 2, beginning teaching. Week 3 through 7, teaching, period, teaching. And week 8, reflection and observation, okay? Now, I'm going to show you this site. Oh my gosh, yeah, I hope it works. I want you all to write this down. If it doesn't work, I'm going to die. Okay. I'm really pumped with this. This is kind of our little baby right here. So this is our professional learning community site. This is going to be your hub for everything during this semester student teaching. Okay? So if you will look there, there's some pictures of some peeps you may know. That is Chuck Heinlein. He used to be the former state superintendent. He was our guest speaker.
Can you give us the URL?
Yes, it is marshall.edu/COEPD/PLC. Professional Learning Community.
Once more.
COEPD?
marshall.edu/COEPD/PLC. And I will send you all the link to this as well. But this is going to be your main site for this semester. If you scroll down, we got 3 columns here: students, supervisors, and cooperating teachers. Okay? Everything that you need will be right here. Right here's our clinical handbook. There's a link to it, so if you have any questions. Right here, that's what I was getting ready to talk to you about, is the responsibility profile. You need to print this off, discuss it with your teacher, and bring it back or submit it to me electronically by next Wednesday when we come and meet, okay, for seminar. I need this back to me. Basically what this is, it says this is designed to help the supervising teacher and teacher candidate plan the transition the candidate will make from the beginning of the placement through the end of the placement. It is to be completed cooperatively during the first week of the placement and submitted to the university supervisor. Submit it to your university supervisor, but I have to have it in my possession, okay? The process may be slowed or accelerated depending upon the teacher candidate ability and confidence. So, okay. So let's say you go in tomorrow and during the planning you have this. And you pull it out and you say, I need to go over this with you, sometime this week. Just let them know. So week 1, what are you going to write up there probably? Observation. That's what you're going to basically be doing, okay? If let's say you're elementary and your teacher says, okay, next week I think that you could take over spelling and writing. So begin week 2. Begin taking over spelling and writing. Week 3, reading groups plus, etc. Week 4, 5, and 6, full-time teaching. Okay? And week 7, let's say. And then week 8 is going to say back to teacher observation. Let's say something like that. What that basically means is you're turning things slowly back over to the classroom teacher there at the end, which we all know that happens. And then you may be visiting other classrooms in the school, other teachers who, let's say you're in a kindergarten, but there's 3 other kindergartens, and then there's a 1st and a 2nd grade. Go visit those. Go do observations in there. Take notes. You're going to see good things in every place you are. Okay, so that's what I would suggest there at the end before you switch over. So basically, this is just a good outline because it keeps everybody on the same page. In the past, before we've done this, we would have teachers say, yeah, I'm going to have you start taking over here in just a little bit. Well, that didn't tell me nothing, But if we have it on a calendar, we have a plan, it keeps everybody, with the same understanding. Special ed people, you're just going to fill it out for up to 5 weeks. Okay. It's going to be a little.
Will Lockwood tell us recommended
Yes.
when we can start?
Yeah, Dr. Lockwood was really great about handling all that and keeping you all on a good track. Okay, so that I need in my possession by next Wednesday. Like I said, you can email it to me, or you can bring me a hard copy. Either way, it's going to be fine. And I will check it off, and make sure you turn it in or got it to me. And if you don't, then I'm going to be annoyed, and you're going to hear from me.
Question.
So you don't want any of that. Yes.
How set in stone are the date, when we teach dates? Because I had clinical 2s last semester, and I was observing for 2 days.
Okay.
And then my teacher's like, you want to take my lesson plan? And
Right.
I was like, sure. So we did that.
Oh, it's not set in stone at all.
Okay.
If you see, I've got that added up there. It can be slowed or accelerated depending upon you, your ability, your confidence. Let's say the teacher on week 3 wants you full-time teaching, and you start doing it, and it's a disaster. Then you guys need to kind of reconvene and with maybe your supervisor and say, listen, I feel like I need to pull back a little bit. I feel like you still need to be doing this, and that's why we do this. That's what it's here for. This is learning experience. Okay. All right. So there's that. This you will also need to submit the same way by the same day. This is your student-teacher contract. Now, all of this is found in the student column. Should not be anywhere where you can't find this. This is your contract. Basically, this is a contract between yourself, your cooperating teacher, and your university supervisor, so everyone has the same understanding, okay? And it talks about your expectations. Complete all lesson plans timely and submit them to the cooperating teacher and the university supervisor prior to teaching. Complete the unit plan let's just say timely, sorry. And turn in no less than 5 days prior to teaching to cooperating teacher and university supervisor. Teacher candidate must complete a daily reflection journal, which should be available and up to date at all times. You must submit your TPA items on the due date. You must complete the capstone interview per the schedule, which we'll talk about next placement. That's not anything pressing now. And you must attend all scheduled seminars. And then you are going to initial, okay? And that is, I have read and understand the professional code of conduct, which is right here. What do you know? Okay? So there's the professional code of conduct. This is all, we're going to go over this in just a second, but you have to read it and you have to initial that you read it. Okay, so then the teacher expectations. The cooperating teacher is responsible for communicating with the university supervisor about the performance of the clinical student. The cooperating teacher should document areas of strengths, weaknesses, and major concerns that need to be addressed. Cooperating teacher should complete formal written observation of a minimum of 2 times during the placement. They're going to do more than that. Approve teacher candidate lesson plans prior to teaching. Periodically review and discuss your candidate reflection journal. Therefore, do not dog your cooperating teacher in your reflection journal. Trust me, it's happening. Do not be like, oh my gosh, my teacher drives me crazy because da-da-da. Don't do it. They can read it anytime. They also have to complete a midterm and a final by specified due dates, and they do all of this on live text, and I handle all of this, so that's nothing you have to worry about. University supervisor expectations. A minimum of 4 classroom visits per placement, a minimum of 2 formal written observations per placement, completion of the midterm and the final, grading and advising of your unit plan. If you have any questions or anything like that, they're going to go over your unit plan. Periodically reviewing teacher candidate lesson plans and reflection journal, assisting teacher candidates with TPA pieces. To a point. You know how that goes. We talked about that this morning, okay? Assisting during capstone interviews, which they do, and attending seminars as available, okay? So look here. Everybody signs off on it. Do you see that? That way, if something comes up and there's ever a question about whether somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing when it comes to either you or the cooperating teacher or the university supervisor, it's right there. We got it in black and white, okay? All right. This also includes links to the Department of Education. You know, this morning when we were on there looking for that task information, there's that link. Our CAPE Standard 2, CAPE is our accrediting body, so if you have any questions there. And then there's a live text link as well. So anything you need is going to be right there. Your cooperating teacher, anything they need is going to be right there, and supervisor. And we will add things periodically to this, and if I add something, I'm going to let you know it's on there. If you scroll down, if you need to contact either Candace or I or Tanya, my secretary, you can do that there. And then very important dates. Look here. This is your whole calendar. This is for everything. If we have seminar next Wednesday and you're not sure what's going on or what time or where you're supposed to be, all you got to do is get on here. It's January 18th, it's at 1 o'clock, and it's in the Shockey upstairs, the Shockey room upstairs. Do you see that? You know, we're going to have that PBS Learning Media Seminar. I'll send you the times on that. We'll get them posted on there when we finish, but it's going to be in the Drinko Library. Yes, ma'am?
So do we just take half days on the TPA?
Oh, no. Let's talk about that. If we have seminar at 1 o'clock, and if you have a placement in Huntington or in Barbersville, you could leave at, if you have a placement in Barbersville, you could leave at noon, get you something to eat, get here, get parked, and get wherever we're having a seminar. You don't need to leave at 11. You don't need to leave at 10. This has happened. If you do, I will find out, so don't do it, okay? On those seminar days, Dr. Watson typically will talk, and Dr. Lucas from like 1 to 2 or 1 to 2:30, and then afterwards, if your supervisor's here, you'll meet with them. I'll be here too to answer any questions or follow up or anything you need. Dr. Watson will stay a little bit later if you're having tech issues or things like that.
So we don't go back to the school
No, you will not go back to school that day, but you will go that morning. We'll talk about you.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
So if we're in Putnam County, like in Hurricane, can we leave at 11:30 or?
I would leave, I mean, give yourself plenty of time to where you're not rushing, you're not, you know, the last thing I would want is anybody to rush and an accident to happen or something like that. Yeah, give yourself time to make sure you can eat, make sure you can park, and make sure you can get here. Yes.
I was thinking about this because my teacher was like this last semester. She wanted me to either be there for a whole class or not at all,
Mhm.
rather than like leaving in the middle of a class.
Yeah.
So if your teacher feels like that, just go in between whichever.
Yeah, but, I mean, like, if it's like the class is from 11 to 11:50 or what, you know what I'm saying? I mean, figure it
leave
out.
after.
Yeah,